Alright, so in this lesson, I'm going to be talking about how you can find active influencer pages to promote on and make deals with them. So what are you looking for? Typically, pages in the 100 to 500K range will perform the best and give you the best return on investment. Now, it really depends what you're looking for. For example, with Flex Posture, I was looking for volume. I wanted to sell a lot with minimal effort. So I would go for pages that were, a little bit bigger than 500K. I would go for like 2 million, 3 million pages. And those pages will give you a smaller return on ad spend, except you'll get more sales in general. So really the way it is the smaller you go, the higher the return on ad spend, but the more posts you'll have to book to start scaling. So I think the sweet spot for most people is 100K to 500K followers. Now, the page must also be coherent with your niche in terms of demographics. So if you're selling a product that targets, young women, the influencer page should have an audience mainly composed of young women. And if you're unsure, sometimes you can't really tell. You can ask the page owner for audience insights. So just tell them, hey, I want to do promotions with you. Just before can I just check your audience insights? I want to see the demographics. And as long as you don't come off as someone just trying to waste their time, they'll be glad to send you the audience insights. Now, another thing is you want a page that doesn't sell a lot of promotions. The more promotions a page posts, the more the followers are going to become immune to those promotions and inactive, So if you find a post, if you're doing research for pages and you find a page that's done like 3 promotions just that day, that's a huge no-no, right? Instantly, you shouldn't want to do business with them because, their followers are just seeing page promotions day after day and they're just becoming immune to them. Now, another thing is you want a page that has an active follower base. Now, there's a cool tool for that. It's called igaudit.io. And I ran an IG audit for this page right here, Lifehack. So it has 5.8 million followers. This is one of the pages that I used for Flex Posture. And as you can see, the estimated real followers are 62%. So this uses a bunch of data points and it gives you an estimate on the amount of real followers. So one thing that I look for is an estimate of real followers above 50%, especially for those really big pages. And if I'm going to the 100 to 500K range, I would typically want something above 70% or 80% real followers. The higher amount of followers you go, the less likely, they're going to have a rating of 80%. So that's why I lowered it to 50%. But obviously, the better the IG audit, the better the follower base. Another thing you can check is the amount of engagement in the comments, right? So if a page has a bunch of fake engagement, like if you just look at every post and there's virtually no real discussions happening, it's just a bunch of emojis and people saying like, thanks for sharing this content. You really inspire me. Like a bunch of fake comments. Typical fake comments that you can just see spammed everywhere on Instagram, that's not a good page. A good page will have real discussions happening in the comments, real comment chains, people, debating things. And so you can tell. And also comment likes, real comment sections have a lot of comment likes. People like the top comments and people talk about them. They reply to the top comments. If you don't see that happening in the comments, it could either just be a non-engaging post, in which case you can scroll a little bit further and see if some of their older posts actually have a lot of engagement. But if none of their posts have real engagement, then that probably means it's not a good page. So those are the main criteria you're looking for. Now, how do you actually go ahead and look for these pages? Well, the main way that I like to do it is I'll create an account for my brand. So for Flex Posture, for example, and I would follow a bunch of influencers in my niche and start engaging with their posts. So I would follow kind of general influencers with more women followers than men. And, the demographic was, around 25-year-old, around there. So that's the niche that was the demographic that I was targeting. And so as I started following and engaging with those people's pages, with their posts and everything, I started seeing more and more pages like that on my Explore page. So all I would have to do to search for influencers is I would scroll through my Explore page and I would look for regular posts going viral. And when I found posts like that, then I would check the page and I would see if it meets all my criteria. I would do an IG audit, and if everything looked good, then I would hit them up and see if we could work out a deal. Now, there's another method. It's the suggestions method, I like to call it. It's when you find a really good page, there's a little arrow that you can press, and it's going to give you a drop down of related pages. And so if you find one good page, the suggestions method will help you find a bunch of other good pages. Now, there's really no easy way to find good pages to promote. You really just have to look deeper and just do a lot of research if you want to do a lot of good Instagram influencer promotions. There's no miracle solution to finding good pages to promote on. So now, what pages do you want to avoid? any page that sends you a DM first asking if you want promos, that's not a good deal. So just ignore them, right? If it's a good page, they would be getting people DMing them, not the other way around. So the fact that they're DMing you means it's a terrible page and they're just trying to make money off of you. Now, DIY pages, food pages, there's a ton of pages like this. Usually they're all terrible. They're all ran by, just people who don't really know, people who just really want to make money selling promotions, you know what I mean? So I've tested a lot of them, and a lot of time they look really convincing. They look like they would do well, and they just never do well. So DIY pages, food pages, stay away. Fake celebrity pages, another one that you want to stay away. For example, there's a ton of fake Ariana Grande pages where they just post a bunch of viral posts about Ariana Grande, and some of their posts are extremely active, and so I've tested them a few times, and it never does well. So fake celeb pages, don't stay away from those. And the last one is large pages, so pages that have over 1 million followers that post multiple promos daily. So large pages in general, you don't have to avoid them. Large pages can be good. However, large pages that only post promos, so you see a lot of these, and they post promos, 3-4 times a day, stay away from them because they charge a lot because they have a lot of followers, but since they post so often, the promos don't do well, and so it's a terrible deal. So avoid those pages at all costs. Now, how do you get in touch with these pages? Super easy. You just DM the page. You have something eye-catching in the first line. So for example, some fire emojis, business related. This will catch their attention. It's sort of like the subject line. And then after that, you can just write, hey, can I buy a promotion? You don't need to write this long explanation why you're doing it. People understand that you just want a promotion. And then often they'll say, yeah, sure, can I see the post? Then you send them the post by DM. And then if you can't get a reply by DM, you have to comment on their last pick. So if they post something 10 minutes ago, go comment on their pick. And you can even comment 2-3 times, just say check DM. And so that'll help you get their attention, and then maybe they'll check DM and reply to you. Now, some pages don't reply at all. And honestly, those are the pages that you should push the hardest for. The pages, in my experience, the pages that I had to work the hardest to get in touch with provided the best results. And the reason is that these are the pages that do the least promotions, right? And they have a ton of people like me. If they're not replying, it's because a bunch of people are interested in their service and they just don't care because they don't want to post that many promotions, and whenever they do, they already have people lined up. And so keep trying for those pages because they're the best one to advertise on, and eventually they're going to need some money. So that's a good way to do it. Now, making deals. You want to make deals with these pages. You want to negotiate. Instagram influencers is all about negotiating. So usually you can offer for a 12-hour post. 12-hour posts are the best bang for your buck. Most of the activity of your post will happen within the first 3-4 hours. And after 12 hours, it starts really dying down. However, if your post does go viral, you could, and you only paid for 12 hours, then you want to message the influencer and extend it for another 12 or 24 hours, because if it's on the Explore page and it's still getting a lot of views, you don't want them to delete it. Now, you always want to ask for their prices first. Don't offer first because you really don't know what their prices are. So always ask for their prices first and then undercut them. So usually I undercut them about 25%, and I say, can we do this for this price, 25% undercut, and then as a first post discount. So that's usually the excuse that I say for why I should get that discount. So I'm like, hey, can we do 25% as a first post discount? And if it does well, I'll be interested in buying a bulk deal. Now, saying that you'd be interested in buying a bulk deal helps them realize that there's long-term potential with you as a business partner, and so they're more likely to actually give you that 25% first post discount. Now, scheduling your post, you want to schedule your post ahead of time. So usually I'll make a deal and then I'll schedule it for the next day, and I'll schedule it for around 3 p.m. Eastern time. So this is the time that I found works best to post Instagram page ads. Now, bulk deals. Bulk deals are a great way to save money once you found a page that gives you good results. And so you definitely want to make bulk deals with the best pages that you find. So usually I'll negotiate a good rate for 5 posts at once. And you can really cut down the price. So if you paid like $100 for one post, you could pay like $60 times 5, so $300 for 5, and so you basically get 2 free. So you have to negotiate, but people they don't think rationally when they see a large sum of money, right? So if you offer them 5 posts up front, they're willing to undercut their prices a lot. And so this is good for building long-term relationships, and you can negotiate lower prices consistently since you've been doing business for a while. So if you keep renewing your bulk deal, eventually you can say like, hey, we've been doing this for a while. Like, is there any chance we could lower it another like 10% since we've been doing business for a while together? And usually that works well. And the only issue with bulk deals is that you can, get scammed. So I would never do a bulk deal unless I do at least 1 or 2 posts prior to make sure that, they're actually going to post it, that the post does well and everything. And then you can start thinking about a bulk deal, but make sure that, it doesn't seem too sketchy. If something seems sketchy and seems off and you think you're going to get scammed, then just hold off and don't do it. And also make sure to send your payment as goods and services, not friends and family, because friends and family, you can't request a refund. Everyone's going to ask for friends and family payment. You just say, hey, I need to send as goods and services for accounting. I can cover the fee. And then they'll basically ask that you add like another few dollars to the payment so that they don't get charged the fee. All right, so I just searched through my phone to find some screenshots of promotions that I did for Flex Posture, and I found 3 screenshots of promotions that went well for Flex Posture. So hopefully this can give you an idea of what these promotions should look like. So as you can see, I'm just posting the text post that I was showing you earlier. I need to fix my posture ASAP. And then this one says, tag someone who needs to fix their posture ASAP. And then the caption, always the same thing. And, very simple caption. You really don't need to overthink the caption. You basically just want to, highlight what your product does, highlight the marketing offer that your main marketing offer for your product. And then you want to have the main call to action, which is linking them to your profile. So what I like doing is I like having 2 emojis like this pointing to my, the @ username. And so, so they really can't miss it and they want to click it. Now, even if they, if they click your profile and then they don't end up buying, it's still good because then you can retarget that on Facebook. You can create a custom audience for people who've visited your profile on Instagram, and then you can retarget them since they've shown interest in your product. And so that's why you really want to just push them towards your page. You don't want to have like a direct link or anything. You want them to visit your page first and then have the link on your page. And so all 3 of these promotions did quite well. As you can see, this one got 106,000 views. This one got 143,000 views in just 2 hours. And then this one got 250,000 views in 23 hours. And so that's what the promotions for Flex Posture looked like on Instagram influencers. Now, how did I keep track of them? I made a little sheet on Google Sheets, promos for Flex Posture, and a very simple layout. So I just had a column for the username, a column for whether or not it's completed. So let's say that I had, a bulk deal for 5 posts with this username at Shades of Snobs. I would do 0 out of 5. And then, once they post one, I would update this to 1 out of 5. And then if I need any notes, I can be like posting next on Thursday or something like that. So this just helps you keep track of, what promotions you have going on, what deals you have going on, and so that you don't forget, right? Because once you start scaling a little bit with influencers, you're going to have a lot of posts, and you can't just keep track of all of that in your head. Otherwise, you're going to go crazy. So, having a little spreadsheet like this helps a lot. So that's it for this quick video, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.